Good morning to everyone. Thank you for organizing this very large event. And I want to introduce first the City We Need process. So this year, the Future of Places conference is placed under the banner of the World Urban Campaign. The Future of Places has joined the World Urban Campaign, and this will be the second Urban Thinkers Campus since the first one, which started in Caserta in October last year, 1 month after the first PrepCom for the Habitat Tree Conference. So I would like to introduce the World Urban Campaign for those who don't know it. It is primarily, first and foremost, a campaign to change our urban future, which is a jeopardized future based on unsustainable practices, unsustainable planning, management, unsustainable business practice, as we know. And we need to change. So the campaign was launched in 2010 at the forum, World Urban Forum 5 in Rio de Janeiro, bringing together two former campaigns that were established after the Habitat 2 conference in 96. So to date, we have 118 organization networks and platforms representing about 6 million people. So it has its own governance with a steering committee chaired by Professor Jenny Birch, who is going to speak after me. And beyond being united by the same cause, the campaign is meant to define this new urban paradigm that we are going to discuss today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. And the campaign is meant to propose what we call the City We Need. The City We Need was launched in New York last year before the 7th World Urban Forum with Michael Bloomberg, who is Special UN Envoy on Cities and Climate Change. And it was a first draft, and it has currently 9 principles that are in the making. This is a work in progress, and this Future of Places here is meant to contribute to those principles. And I believe that at this conference we are going to address a number of those. We have the City We Need as a unique identity and sense of place. The City We Need is well planned, financed and governed. The City We Need is resilient, it is inclusive, it has a human scale. So here you have already a lot on the map. So the City We Need will be, at the end of the day, the partners' manifesto for the Habitat Tree Conference and the implementation of the new urban agenda after the conference. So member states, it's going to be a negotiated document. The City We Need is a negotiated document of all the partners. Member states have their own intergovernmental negotiation processes. You see that on the left-hand side, in which partners are involved in a way. But the idea is to meet together, to have all the partners involved before the Habitat Tree Conference, and to be well prepared, put forward a compelling proposition, a manifesto to the member state before they release the draft of the new urban agenda. And Jenny Birch is going to speak more about that. It's a very important process. We don't want to be like at Rio +20, where partners were not united, not enough united, and could not actually have what they wanted in the outcome of the Rio +20 conference. So at Habitat Tree, we need a bit more consensus before. So to carry out partners' negotiation, the World Urban Campaign has proposed the General Assembly of Partners. And actually, Jenny Birch is also now the president of this General Assembly of Partners. And this is a deliberative device for the partners before the conference. And of course, the General Assembly of Partners will have time and opportunities to meet with member states and discuss. So the General Assembly of Partners has an executive committee that will meet on Wednesday here in Stockholm and will work on the integration of all the inputs to the City We Need. So from this Urban Thinkers Campus from the 28 Urban Thinkers Campus that will be organized before February next year. From the national urban campaigns. We had a national urban campaign launched last week in Cairo. Their national urban campaign is meant to actually prepare a position also, and other national urban campaign will do so. So all these inputs will be combined in the city we need. So this is your chance to include the issue of public space for the Habitat 3 conference and to be in that compelling proposition to be put forward to member states. So this goes in parallel. You have put here the two processes. On top, you have the intergovernmental negotiations, which are now led by member states. There is a Habitat 3 secretariat. There are policy units established. There are issue papers drafted. There are national reports. There are regional reports. So all this will come into the new urban agenda. Of course, the partners will have opportunities to intervene in that process, but partners need to be very well prepared in that parallel process of the city we need. So there will be thematic statements coming out of the Urban Thinkers campuses. There will be country partners statement coming out of the National Urban Campaign, and also these 14 groups that Jenny is going to explain will also contribute to that process. So there is also a roadmap and a timeline that I believe Jenny will explain. So there will be different meetings leading up to the Habitat 3 conference. And the idea is to present the city we need before the new urban agenda draft, so that governments can hear from what the partners have to put on the roadmap. So the model of the Urban Thinkers Campus was elaborated in Caserta. As I said, one month after the PrepCom, we felt that the partners needed to be engaged at their own level. So we had a meeting which was extremely participatory. And that's the idea of the campus, is to open the debate globally. And not only to the regular partners, but to all those who feel can provide input to that process and to be prepared for the Habitat 3 conference. So it is fed by, so we expect all the new ideas to come into the city we need debate. And then there are 4 types of sessions contributing to that process. You have the Urban Thinkers session, bringing all the participants along different themes that are sub-themes of the main thing of the campus. You have the constituent group session, bringing peers along a central theme of the campus. Then you have the urban labs, data presentation, concept, new models, innovation, best practices, etc., that can feed also the global debate, the city we need debate. We have drafting session where all the constituent group negotiate the city we need position for the end of this conference. And in parallel also we have media session and other events. So in Caserta, for example, we had an urban journalism academy, we had a digital media academy, and we had urban cinema. So here I understand there are other things which are going on, and there is a media session. So yeah, in the Future of Places conference, we have 5 constituent groups. In reality, there are 14 groups, yeah? But they were collapsed in 5 different groups. So you have the research and academia, which I believe a majority of you are coming from those groups. Civil society and grassroots organization, government that include local governments, professional, private sector, and foundation. And finally, I would like to remind that at the end of this conference, you are expected to contribute to the city we need. And there are 3 levels in the city we need. The first part is on principles for a new urban paradigm. The second part is the policy and legislative framework we need. And the third part is about urban solutions for the city we need. And at the end of the day, the drafting committee of this conference, the role of the drafting committee is to pull together all your contribution of those 3 days into recommendation that will go into the city we need. Yeah. There will be, as I said before, 28 urban thinkers campuses, so this is also on our website. And so public space in the new urban agenda is the first on the list after the experimental campus in Caserta. The idea also, there is a planning process. We need to have the new urban agenda ready before March. And there was a decision that all the inputs on the principle should be available before September. So as much as possible, we will include all the outcome of those urban thinkers campuses, but those who come before September are more likely to influence the final document. So all those campuses address the 9 principles of the city we need, and they are also, in a way, contributing. So those experts who will be also in the policy unit of Habitat 3 will have the chance to influence so the thematic, the themes of the policy unit for Habitat 3. So I'll stop here. I was told to be very short, and Jenny is going to elaborate much further. So Jenny is the president of the General Assembly of Partners, and she's a chair of the World Urban Campaign Steering Committee. Thank you.